Hey everyone, it's Tori, and today we're going to be doing a yoga sequence for shoulder strength and mobility. Having strong shoulders is probably one of the most important muscle groups in yoga, as having strong shoulders are a very important component of some of the more advanced postures. So we're going to start by doing a cat and cow, rounding the back into cat pose. And then arching into cow, and we'll do this 3 times. Rounding back up. Arching again into cow. And one last cat pose. So now we're going to start to warm up the shoulders and help them mobilize by reaching our right arm up to the sky, then bringing it down under the body, fingers reaching away from you, which creates a nice deep stretch in that right shoulder. As your body begins to open, you'll be able to reach those right fingers out even further. So just listen to whatever your body is telling you and reach as far as you can go for now. Then come back up, right arm back up to the sky, back to all fours, and now reach that left arm up and under the body. Become aware of your hips and make sure that they stay level once you go down, because that left hip's probably going to try and come down with the rest of your left side. So be mindful of keeping them aligned when you're folded under like this. And come back up and back to all fours. Now sit back down on your bum with your legs out straight and bring the right foot flat on the floor parallel to your left thigh. With your right hand on the floor next to your hip, bring up your left and tuck that elbow in on the outside of your right thigh with the hand out straight. If this is too hard, you can always wrap your left arm around your knee, which will also create a stretch in the torso. This is marichasana, or seated twist. Try and see if you can look back behind you, and the more your torso begins to open as you twist, the further behind you'll be able to look back. Now come back to center and change sides, bringing that left foot up parallel to the right thigh, left hand by your left hip, reach right hand up to the sky and tuck on the outside of your left thigh. Keeping that hand flat out, and again, you can wrap your right arm around your left knee if this variation is too difficult for you. Now back to center, straighten out that left leg, and from here we'll come forward into plank pose. Now we're going to turn up the heat a little bit and start to really work and build that shoulder strength. So keeping that torso straight, you want to keep a straight line from your head to your toes. So looking out in front of you is the easiest way to get your body into this position. Now come down into dolphin plank. Again, turning up the notch a little bit more. This is going to really help work those shoulders. Then back up to plank. You're doing really well. Keep holding on. Almost there. And down into child's pose for a quick rest. Keeping your arms out in front, which will create a nice stretch all through your back. Now come back up, and we're going to do a second round. So coming into that plank pose, keep those arms strong. Very windy today here. Remembering to look out in front of you, and also don't forget to breathe as well. Keep remembering to breathe in and out, down into dolphin. I know this is hard, but keep pushing on. You're doing well, and this is going to have tremendous effects. Now you can start to walk your feet closer to the top of the mat. Keeping that breath regulation is going to help so much through some of these more challenging poses. The more you get used to doing this pose and the more your shoulders start to open, the easier it will be to walk forward. And you can always come back down into the original variation of dolphin as well. Then back up to plank. We're almost there. Beautiful. Now come down into child's pose for a quick rest. Arms out straight ahead, or if you want, you can also have them down by your sides. I like to keep them outstretched in front, as it really does help open up that whole back body and also stretch out those shoulders. Now come up and come back into plank. This time we're going to do knees, chest, chin. Come down to the floor, and then come up for cobra, lifting up that chest with your elbows to the sides of your ribs. Back down, and then up into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here just to even out. You can walk your dog back and forward to help open up your hamstrings and the whole back side of your legs. You want to aim to be bringing that chest down to the floor. So really stretching out in those arms and aiming to bring that chest downwards. It's going to help create a beautiful juicy stretch all through your back side of the body. Now coming forward into plank. Now bring your left arm into the middle of the mat, put your left hand there, reach your right hand up to the sky, turning into a side plank. See how much you can reach up to the sky. This will also create more flexibility in your side body. Now bring the right hand back down into plank. And this time, put your right hand in the center of your mat and reach your left arm up to the sky for the other side. Seeing how high you can reach up, really creating a beautiful stretch there. Then come back down into plank. This time, you could move into chaturanga, so that's the yoga half push-up, or you can always do knees, chest, chin as before. Come up to upward facing dog and then back into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Now look to the front of your mat, bend your knees, preparing to jump forward to the top. Watch that your hips don't sink down as you jump to avoid hurting the lower back. Forward fold, and up to touch the sky. Bring your hands down to your sides for mountain pose. Take a moment to ground yourself here. Become aware of your heart beating in your chest, your body warm, and feel the energy rushing through you from your feet to the crown of your head. Breathe and be one with the breath and the life force in and around you. Now reach your arms up to the sky and swan dive for a forward fold. Halfway lift. You can always put your hands to your knees if this is easier. Folding into forward fold. And then jump back into plank pose. One final chaturanga, up to upward facing dog, looking up to the sky, and then reach up into downward facing dog. Jump forward, and now we're going to come onto our back. We're just going to finish up with a little bit of shoulder stretching. So just creating a bit more flexibility. Raise your feet up to the sky. And then we're going to push up into shoulder stand. You want to really try and reach your toes up as high as you can and support your back with your hands while you're in this position. Make sure you're looking straight up to your feet and do not, whatever you do, move your head from side to side, as this could be quite dangerous for your neck. And then we're going to come back into plow pose. If you can, reaching your feet back behind you to touch the ground behind you, supporting your back with your hands. Or you can clasp your hands behind you and lay them against the floor, creating an even deeper stretch in your back. Then come back up to shoulder stand. And slowly come down into our final pose, Shavasana. Just breathe here and rest for a bit. Now begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, stretch your arms up above you, stretching out your body, and bring your knees into your chest and fold over to your right side for fetal pose. Then when you're ready, come up to sit and we'll seal off our practice. You can sort of roll your neck out a little bit if you like, stretch from side to side. Take a deep breath and reflect on how wonderfully you have done today. Well done. Hands in prayer down to chest. Namaste.